What is up, my friends? So, I just did a video talking about Extraction 2, Netflix's biggest movie debut. According to Netflix, over 90 million subscribers watched this movie, and it's a little tricky to say if they are right because the way they view subscribers, I think if you watch like 3 or 6 minutes of it, you already count as a view, so that's interesting, but that's something we won't get into right now. Let's talk about their latest film, however. Now, this is a film that I saw was trending number 2, so from the title alone, I was just like, sounds pretty interesting, right? Dangerous Lies. So I expected Netflix's twists and turns and just making this film be like, wait, did that just happen? No, now this is happening, which is classic Netflix, honestly. And I don't say that in a bad way because it works for them. It works because then people start to talk about their films to their friends and they're like, this is crazy when it happens, let me know what you think, and the conversation arises on social media, all of that, so you get search ranking and all of that, so it just makes sense on their part. The Dangerous Lies is a film with too many twists and turns, I think, that make you like scratch your head at the end. So the film basically follows a young couple that we see, and before I get into it, the opening shot, aesthetic wise and everything about it, cinematography, lighting, all of that, beautiful. I just want to say that. But they basically are a couple who experience a shooting take place at the wife's old job where she is a waitress. They are safe because they weren't inside the job when it was happening. She was taking a break and they were outside. They come in and the husband goes and helps out the owner, and this kind of puts a strain in their relationship after that. Now he is in school. He's actually trying to become a doctor, I believe, and so he is really pushing himself. She's like, I'll work so you can do this and hopefully we can get a better future together. She takes on a new job as a caretaker for an older man, and he eventually does find out that she and her husband are going through some money problems, and he's like, let me help you, I can give you some money, I have a lot of money. So he's like very much so like, I want you to have a good life and get this obstacle away from you, because I would have wanted to have something like this be done where I was in a relationship with somebody and had a family and all of this, but it didn't happen for me, and if I can help you achieve that by eliminating this obstacle, I will feel sort of better for myself. But she's like, no, we can't do that, but if you can give him a job and he can earn the money here. So he's like, okay, so he'll become the gardener. So that happens. While all of this is happening as well, a real estate agent approaches the protagonist, Katie, about buying the older man's home, and she's like, no, he doesn't want to, so bye-bye. So he's already looking like a sleazebag, so we're expecting some shit from him, right? So eventually, the couple work with the older man. He then gets them a paycheck worth $7,000, which is a lot more than they expected to get from him. And she's like, I think he's doing this because it's his way of giving me the money that I told him about. They contemplate whether returning the money to him that same day, but they're like, we gotta pay bills today, so we can't go back. So what happens the next day is that we find the old man has died, and it looks like an apparent suicide, and Katie has now gotten the inheritance from him, including the home and everything else. So, very, very interesting turn of events right there. What we come to find out, however, is that the real estate agent is actually a sleazebag jewel thief that is trying to find the diamonds that he believes are in the home. So that's why he's been trying to get in there and pretty much find out exactly if the diamonds are there or not. So his ex-partner actually is the one who stashed the diamonds somewhere there because he was basically like duped. This guy double-crossed him, the sleazebag real estater, and shot him. He ran and he made it enough to get in there and stash the diamonds somewhere on the property, and he died. So what ends up happening is he comes to look for the diamonds, and it's like an altercation between the sleazebag real estate that is actually a jewel thief and the chick's husband, Katie's husband, Adam, where we see both Adam and the jewel thief pretty much die after the altercation that they have. His last words to Katie are in the garden, because this is where the diamonds are, as we come to find out later that they had actually found before and he had put away and all of that. So the real estate sleazebag is dead, so you're like, I guess that's it, right? This is where the film is going to end. Nope, Netflix is like, give me another twist. Here you go. So the lawyer that actually was talking to Katie when the whole like ordeal with the inheritance and everything happened was in on all of this as well with the sleazebag real estate jewel thief. She wanted a part of it, so she helped him get a plea bargain so he wouldn't get as many years. And now they were working together, and so she's like, give me the damn diamonds because I did not do all of this to not get anything. Ultimately, though, however, Katie is saved by the private investigator that is investigating everything going around, and we find out, of course, right before everything like ends, is that the inheritance wasn't actually meant for Katie at all. What had happened was that the sleazebag jewel thief had actually come in to try and find the diamonds, and he had overdosed the old man on purpose. Then that lawyer had to come back and clean it all up so it wouldn't all trace back to her by making it seem like sort of a suicide. And then she forged the inheritance to make it seem like he was leaving it all to Katie. So it was pretty much a thing where it was like, I don't want to live anymore. I'm just going to give it all to this young lady who has helped me these past few months, and not a murder, which was what it really was by that sleazebag real estate agent. So right after all of this is gotten figured out, the lawyer is then shot by the detective, and that's pretty much how it ends. It ends with all of that. So everybody is gone, and Katie is now pregnant. We catch up with her 4 months later, where the detective is like, so do you know where the diamonds are? What could have happened to them? And she's like, actually, I don't. And so the detective leaves just like that. The forged inheritance and everything, we'll just forget about that because, hey. And then Katie turned on the sprinklers, and we see the diamonds right there in the garden, as Adam said, appear right after. So, end of story. So, a very anticlimactic ending, I would say, because I think that you had an ending, and then you're like, let's give it a little bit more beef in there and give it a little bit more twists and turns by having that whole lawyer thing happen, which is not bad. It is a fun movie, I guess you could say, and although there is holes and everything in it, it's okay to watch, I guess, because it's on Netflix. You already have Netflix, go check it out. It's just like a fun movie, you could say. But I thought it was interesting how many twists and turns there were in it, because every time I review something from Netflix or talk about it, I tell y'all there is going to be twists and turns all around. That's Netflix's thing, and there we have it. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on Dangerous Lies? Have you checked it out or not? It is currently trending at number 1 on Netflix. When I watched it, it was at number 3, so it's getting up there, and I'm not sure. I think it's a movie that is definitely going to have a lot of people going, oh, shit. But after you're done watching, you're like, shit, what was that? For real. So, what did you think about Dangerous Lies, about the ending and all of that? I did see an interview where the actress has gone on and said that she wasn't sure how she felt about the endings and whether or not Katie did or didn't know about the diamonds. I don't think she did know about the diamonds. I think that she was genuinely never really concerned with all of that. As we saw, she did want to go back and give the check right away. She was pretty much honest throughout the whole film with everything, even her emotions. So I don't think that she was somebody who would just hold that and not tell the detective, because, I mean, the detective pretty much saved her life as well. But what are your thoughts on the movie? Did you have any questions about it after? Because I see so many people, there was a lot of questions, because it just moved at a very weird pace. I think it's pretty short as well, an hour and 30 minutes for all the twists and turns that it has, and it does get some time to get going. I think it like starts going at like 20 minutes, so really you just have like an hour to put all of this crammed in there, which would normally be like kind of like things you would expect to happen in like a 5-part series or sorts. But I don't know, your thoughts, let me know below. If you haven't already checked out my video on Extraction 2 and my thoughts on that, go check it out right now. I have a video on the Russian sleep experiment coming this weekend as well as the Never Have I Ever video. I'm about to finish it, so I'll be making that as soon as I am done with that series. And if you have any recommendations of things to watch on Hulu, Netflix, Apple TV, Disney Plus, let me know below, and I'll definitely get around to checking things out. Currently I'm watching Defending Jacob, and I am loving it, so I'll be making an update video on that. But I already have a video on the first 3 episodes, so go check out that video if you want to know if it's worth checking out or not. By the way, it is. Anyways, as always, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go subscribe right now. We're on the road to 15,000 subscribers. We're so close to getting to that. And follow me on Anchor if you want to hear me talk about music and all the stuff I talk about on here as well in an audio podcast format. Follow me on Twitter for more stuff. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. I hope all of you are staying safe and I'll see all y'all next time. Stay positive.